While you were asleep last night, someone's account grew. And it wasn't because they did anything. There's a specific calculation running every single night that either works for you or against you, and most people have never actually seen it. By the end of this video, you will. Here's what's actually happening while you sleep, and it's simpler than anyone makes it sound. Your balance earns a return. That return gets added to your balance. Then tomorrow night, the calculation runs again. But this time, it runs on the new, larger number. That's it. That's the whole mechanism. It's not magic. It's not a financial secret. It's arithmetic on a schedule. Here's what that looks like in real terms. Say you have $10,000 sitting in an account earning roughly 7% annually. A conservative figure based on broad market averages. That works out to about $1.92 added to your balance overnight. One night. Not impressive on its own. But here's the part that changes everything. Tomorrow night, the calculation doesn't run on $10,000. It runs on $10,001.90. And the night after that, slightly more. Every single cycle, the base number grows, which means every single cycle, the return is slightly larger than the one before it. Compare that to simple interest, where the return only ever calculates on your original deposit. Same $10,000, same rate, but the base never changes. You earn the same flat amount every year, forever. No growth on the growth. That's the entire difference, and it's enormous over time. The critical thing to understand, this math does not care about you. It doesn't know if you're stressed, if you're busy, if you haven't looked at your account in 6 months. The calculation runs anyway, every night without you. The only question is whether your balance is in the equation or not, which brings you to the uncomfortable part. Starting later doesn't just mean less time in the game. It means the gap between you and someone who started earlier is itself growing. Every single night they were in and you weren't. Quick question, is your money currently in the equation, or is that nightly calculation running without you? Drop your answer in the comments below. Now let's talk about what actually determines how fast that gap compounds. Take two people making the same monthly contribution, say $200 a month, one starting at 22, one starting at 32. Same amount, same rate, around 7% annually. The only difference is 10 years. By the time both hit 65, the person who started at 22 doesn't just have more money, they have roughly twice as much. Not because they contributed twice as much, they didn't. The 10-year head start means their early contributions had decades to run the nightly calculation on themselves, then on the returns from those returns, then on the returns from those. The gap isn't linear, it curves. And every month the 32-year-old waited, that curve got steeper. That's the uncomfortable math. But here's where most finance content stops, and where this video doesn't. Because the entry point is not $200 a month. It's not a round number. It's whatever you can actually put in tonight. The mechanism doesn't have a minimum threshold for working. It runs on $47. It runs on $11. The moment there is a balance, any balance, the nightly calculation starts running in your favor. Small numbers compound into less impressive numbers than large ones. Yes. But zero compounds into zero, every single night, forever. Open a high-yield savings account or a basic index position tonight. Not next month, not after you pay off one more thing, tonight. Because the math you learned in this video has been running every single night without you. The only variable that was ever in your control was whether your money was in the equation. Now you know how the equation works. That's the only thing that was ever standing between you and the calculation. Subscribe for more breakdowns like this, and watch the next video for more financial tips.